The next element is the follower's cruzada, or cross. To create a cross, all we really need to have is the follower on one foot. And the good news is the follower only has two. So the leader is always aware of this. By changing his weight from one foot to the other, I mirror his weight change. And when George is on his left foot, I'm on my right. When he's on his right, I'm on my left. And in this way, he can determine which foot I'm on. And now we're going to stop when my weight is on my right and George's weight is on his left. With a little bit of a pivot towards my right, he sends me this direction. And then he turns me back to face him, and I go ahead and cross my feet into the cruzada position. This is a very simple way to create a cruzada. So let's try that again. We're changing weight in place. George has me on the right foot. He turns me a little bit to my right, but he turns me back to face him. And so I present my feet into the cross position. We call this a spiral cross, or cruzada en espiral. We have another, probably more common way of getting to the cross, and that comes from the walking steps we discussed before. We could be walking, and when the leader walks to the outside partner right position, the next opportunity I have, I go ahead and cross left over right. Let's do that again slowly, and I'll explain exactly what I mean. We'll take a stop as soon as George steps to the outside. So what I mean by that is he's now stepped to my right side in outside partner right position. And from here, I take the first opportunity to cross my left foot over my right foot. Not quite yet ready yet, but right here, I can cross over. And he pauses and waits for me. This is a typical cross position, and it comes from walking outside partner right for the leader and inviting the follower to cross. It's something very common that we do. Before we discuss crosses any further, we must also discuss how to uncross, because once the follower is there, let's go ahead and go to a cross. Once the follower is in a cruzada position, in order for the leader to go to another place, it might be practical for him to uncross the follower by pivoting her slightly to her left, and then I'll be ready for another step. Now, also from this cross position, it is entirely possible for George to lead a side step. So we can go directly to the side. My right foot is free, and he knows that I can step to the right side. He can also, from that cross, step me back, because again, my right foot is free. But if he wants to go forward, it may be very important for him to understand how to pivot me to the left and uncross me. You see, it's very subtle, but there's a little rotation from George's torso, and I follow that movement with my torso, thus uncrossing my feet. So that's the uncrossing. Let's walk to the cross again and see that one more time. Come back over here. We take a walk. George goes to the outside partner right position, and I take the opportunity to cross right here. And with a little turn of the torso, I uncross. And there we have the cruzadas. Now, if we were to build a little bit of a dance with the first two elements we have walks and we have cruzada. Let's see what kind of a little dance that we can start to create with those movements. We change weight in place so George knows which foot is free for me, and I can follow him very easily. We're now walking side. Now we're walking to the cross. We're going to uncross and walk with him forward and side and back, back, and a little pivot and a little spiral cross right there, and walk back again and forward and side, and again a little spiral cross. And we begin to create a nice little dance with just two elements so far. And that's the follower's cruzada.